Welcome everyone to the Carolina Don Show from the Magnetico Creative Network. I'm Carolina Sin, here with Jason the Don. This is our weekly free episode and sneak peek to the extended edition. We drop a show every week, so if you like what you're hearing, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more. And if you really love and want to rock with us, we will drop a link to our Patreon, which will have extras once you become a part of the family, including the extended in-depth edition of this episode. So let's jump right on in and get started.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? It's the Carolina Don Show. I'm the Don here with Carolina Sin.
All day, every day.
Producer Jen.
Hey.
And we are taking this thing serious now. Uh-oh. We got Sin paused on the...
No, my bad.
That's all right. We doing this by phone today, FaceTiming with Carolina Sin. We're in quarantine. I guess that's what you call it. We had a quarantine.
See, when I was sick, and I was like, "Man, are you sure you want to do the show?" Yeah. Jay was like, "Fuck that! Come on through. We got masks. We good. We da." Yeah, that was. I was like, "You sure?"
Prior to the corona. I mean, no, it really wasn't.
That's true. We didn't know it. We didn't really. It wasn't necessarily prior, but it hadn't been picked up the way it is. Right. Like, we didn't really know what we know now. You know what I mean?
So we're just gonna jump right into it. You know, we had plans of recording today, and I didn't even tell you. I actually had a financial friend who's gonna come on the show. He had a lot to say. And then the Double Vision show was talking with them. They were talking about coming over and kind of us doing like a swap where we go on their show and they would come on our show just to kind of have different perspectives of what's going on right now. Because I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe.
That's true.
When I'm looking at things on social media, on the regular media, listening to our president, listening to people at work, you know, nobody really knows what's going on. And I think it's a lot worse than it was led on from the beginning. I don't know how you both feel.
Right.
But,
well, first of all, I feel like China lying and shit.
Yeah,
so,
see, that
like,
go ahead.
I don't think they are going to tell it, like, I think they fudging the numbers, basically. Like, they not about to be like, oh, yeah, we got X amount of cases. Like, they just reported they had their first case in, like, 4 days. And I'm like, man, I call bullshit on that.
Yeah,
they too many. Right, there are too many goddamn people. Y'all in that country for. So hey, we love China though. Remember, we love China.
No, I'm starting not to love them because I'm starting. No, I mean, not the Chinese people. I'm talking about. I'm not really starting to wonder what is going on with our
what's
country.
The motive behind this shit.
Well, there's a lot of, you know, when you think back, remember when the NBA was over in China and the stuff was going on, and then the NBA player, one of the general managers or something said something, and then instantly LeBron came out. Yeah, LeBron
for the Houston Rockets
as a spokesperson for the NBA defending China. You know, like,
nah, fuck that. He came out and said that shit because they got so much money going on.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much money.
The Houston Rockets, I don't remember if it was the owner or the general manager. I think it was the general manager that was saying that they stand with Beijing or whatever and human rights and all that. And then everybody else in the league, you know, he was just talking. He didn't have all the information. And well, fuck that.
All right.
I don't care how much money. I mean, people always joke and say shit like China owns us anyways and shit. So,
yeah. Well, if nothing else comes out of this, I think it's very clear now that we have to stop depending on China for the goods for this country.
Man, we so deep into that shit though. That's like a 25-year exit plan. That's not some shit we could do in a year or two though.
This isn't the conspiracy show, right? We're not gonna.
Here we are.
But that's what we're in, because when you start looking at what people are talking about, The Harvard professor, that scientist, whatever he was at Harvard University, professor, I'm assuming, did what he did, locking up Chinese nationals that are here, students. One of them was in their military. Like when you start looking at that's not conspiracy stuff. That actually happened.
Right.
So then you start looking at, okay, there's a movie that not a movie, but a TV show that we just put on because Netflix is telling us it's popping right now called Containment. Well, it's about bioterrorism from what country? He was
Syrian?
a Syrian national, came over, had some bioterrorism, put it in an Atlanta hospital, outbreak. They got to quarantine the whole little quadrant of Atlanta.
Right.
We only watched the first episode, but everything in that episode is happening right now.
Except the severity.
The severity of it.
The severity of it was like within 48 hours. You're pretty much
instant death. Like
we was talking about that shit at work. We're like, this like the opening 15 minutes of a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been saying that. I said that I felt like I was in a Netflix original on social
Outbreak?
media.
Remember the movie Outbreak?
Right. Yeah, that shit been trending on Netflix and shit, Autumn or wherever it's streaming at.
And then the other one, Pandemic. We watched that.
That just was last year, and every single one of them,
right?
Everything that stuck out to me during each of the persons, because it's a documentary, it's actually following real people, real life right now. Every single one of them said, "It's going to happen sooner than later. We've got something coming."
And I'm not trying to be dismissive of the amount of people that have died, but this is not even like on a scale of 1 to 10 of deadly diseases that have broke out. This is not even like a 2 or something. You know what I mean? Like as far as how fast it spreads, yes, but it's like the survival rate. Again, I'm not dismissing these numbers, and by all means, if anybody's had somebody affected by this or whatever, like I'm just saying though, but in all realistic, what we're talking about, like the survival rate is high with this compared to, some of the things of the past that if it was hitting this many people, we would already see like tens of thousands of deaths.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Ebola spread faster than it did.
Okay, so that's one of the things that you can make numbers do whatever you want them to do, and I 100% agree. Like this isn't nowhere near what it could be, but when you break down the numbers and you look at the survival rate of catching this coronavirus compared to the regular flu, it's a higher number there. That makes sense.
Right.
There's more people have died from the regular flu. People make that argument. But percentage-wise of people who died, there's more for
it's
this.
10 times. It's 10 times what the people who catch the flu die.
Right. So every episode since because like you said earlier, you came in, you were sick. So when we started the show, I posted on social media that I stole it from somebody, but it said the day that USA Today, where Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter crash and had his daughter, that she was part of the accident, had it on the USA Today headline, and then right to the left of it, it said, authorities or officials, whatever it said, scrambling to find a cure for the coronavirus. The same day, so it was at January 17, 20, somewhere in there. That's what was on the USA Today. So we were warned. It was out there. It's just
it was been here.
We weren't taking it serious. There was other things happening in the news, and then all of a sudden, bam! It's here. We've been making jokes about it, having fun with it.
I mean, and our president was telling us that the media was over sensationalizing it and stuff like that. So half the country believe that too.
Yeah.
So, and then you got these fucking idiot kids down here at the beach, thousands of people out they're just not taking it serious.
Yeah.
There was a cat that was up in New York or New Jersey, some shit. The police are out there breaking up like a block party. There's hundreds of people out there. People are just in and it's really why it's sounding like that old man shit, but it's really these younger kids shit.
Right.
Like, oh, we don't give a fuck. We young. We got fuck Rona. She ain't got shit for me. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Fucking when you over there wheezing.
Yeah. And, you know, that's another thing the media was telling us. It was just the older people.
True.
But as you see reports coming out, it's not.
It's all over the board.
You got kids. I mean, of course, if you have
Well,
complications.
they weren't saying that only older people could catch it. It's just the death rate, the survival rate's worse for older people or people with a compromised immune system.
But it hits different when you start to see the people in the hospital beds younger. Maybe not that they're, you know, in critical condition, but you start to see that, listen, I don't want anything that is going to make me feel like I'm drowning. Like, I don't even want
the whole shit changed when Rudy Gobert in the NBA and Tom Hanks all came out within a day of each other talking about we got it.
Yeah.
And then it got real for people.
Idris Elba, he also
Kevin Durant,
but isn't that crazy?
Ton of people.
So is it true? Because what I was told, I didn't see the video, but I know you did. Is it true the basketball player was just kind of messing around and he touched all the microphones and everything on the table? And then went into the locker room and was like messing around with the players and stuff, touching their stuff.
Now this was before they suspected that he might have it and needed to be tested for it, though. Like, this was the same way you have other people like, man, the thing ain't messing with me, right? Like, he didn't. I'm not trying to be dismissive of it because I think it was a jackass move to do, anyways, regardless. But I want to be clear. This was not I'm waiting for my results. I don't think I have it. Ha 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 thing. This was a couple of days before, from what I understand, that he even got tested or was suspected of having it. But yeah, he was talking and he was just like, and he reached down and touched all the reporters' microphones. And then they said he was acting reckless in the locker room. He need his ass beat. That, you know how what's his name? Charlamagne got donkey of the day. Mm-hmm. I need to have beat down of the day. You know, we talk about this, and I talk about it at work, at other places sometimes. And I'm like, you know, sometimes they don't need to be a one-on-one. You know, like, I hit on your wife. We go outside. It's a man-to-man, got to prove our manhood thing. Sometimes people just need their ass whooped. Like the dude selling, because like I hear all the time people are like, they watch videos online and they like, why are they jumping on him? Why can't they fight him one-on-one? Well, because sometimes people just need their ass kicked. It ain't about proving somebody's manhood. It's like the dude that was hoarding all the damn Purell and the wipes and shit. He needed an ass whoop.
I think that's what's going on with the toilet paper right now.
Oh, absolutely. I just think they haven't gotten caught yet.
I went to Publix yesterday, and I said to the cashier when I was going through the checkout line, I said, when do I need to get here to get toilet paper? She said, sir, we opened the doors at 8 o'clock in the morning, and before 7 this morning, the line was wrapped around Papa John's. So if you don't know, and you don't if you're listening where I'm talking about, that's probably 200 yards away. So think
like a city block.
Yeah, like
a city block. Yeah, 2 city blocks.
Right, of people lined up, and the only thing they were there for was to get toilet paper.
It was toilet paper.
So it's like, okay, I know now. I mean, I'm off next week. I know now.
We'll get up early.
I got to get up early and go stand in this damn line to get 1 pack of toilet paper. Because there's people like the guy that y'all were talking about last week with the hand sanitizer that's doing that with toilet paper.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
so,
very,
and that's why me and 4 of my guys need to just whoop people ass like that. I don't need to walk up on you and be like, hey, bro, you was hoarding the toilet paper? I got to prove that I'm a bigger man than you. Sometimes ass whoopings are not about that. That's why people need to get jumped. Some people need to get jumped.
You know, okay, so if you're listening, all you sheriffs in the different counties around there, you need to start the same way y'all do these pedophiles and everything, where you con them in meeting at a hotel
instead
or
of how to catch Instead of How to Catch a Predator, How to Catch a Hoarder.
Yeah, How to Catch a Hoarder, and set up some stings and go buy the toilet
pull
paper
up,
from them, and then just do what you got to do.
pull up,
It's ridiculous.
light them up. Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for, if you're, it's not even hoarding. Like if you were buying it because you're really concerned and you make sure you don't run out, which.
Yeah, but that's 2 or 3 packs of
Right.
the big packs.
Right.
That's not 20, 28 packs of 24 pack rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah. I should not have to go wait in line at the Sam's Club for 2 hours to get a pack of Charmin.
No. And I called the other day because I've been looking every day online. I mean, we have 6 people in our house. We have 12 rolls of toilet paper. Yeah, that's going to get us a couple of weeks. But I'm freaking out.
12 rolls is going to get y'all through a couple of weeks with 6 people?
Nah, probably not. I mean, maybe like 2 weeks.
That's a couple.
I mean, that's a couple. You don't think so?
I mean,
I'm just saying, I don't know. I know we go, well, I guess. I just feel, and that's one of them things, I guess. So I'm just rambling, but when you're not working, it's going to go faster.
yeah.
Well, so like when the kids are at school and you're at work, like you only using the bathroom of 1/4 out of the day of hours that you would any other time. You know what I mean?
That's a really good point.
If they're like, you got to stay at home and you can only go out at restricted hours and only straight to get this and come back home. Well, now you're spending 23, 22 hours out of the day at home, then you're going to use it more,
Yeah. And that's true. And I actually took a couple to a coworker for him and his wife. And I was kind of freaking out, but I still had the whole unused package of 12 or 18, whatever was in it. And I was like, I'm just going to look every day, kind of, try to get it. Everything's in-store only. Everything's in-store purchase only. And and they finally limited it just 2 days ago at Sam's, 1 package per customer per day. They
I went to
before.
I had I ordered some work clothes and stuff, and excuse me, for whatever reason, I forgot to put the apartment number on the shipping address. So I had UPS. They got places like CVS was the one we used where they'll drop. It's a drop site, and then I could just go pick it up there because I didn't want it to get fucking lost or somebody else grab it. So we in there, and she like, we got toilet paper and stuff, and it was rationed out. You could buy 1 roll. 1 roll per person.
Yep, it's ridiculous.
So I was like, we need to go in there every day and just buy a roll.
Yep.
Where was this at? No, don't say it.
This was.
Well, you can.
This was it. Yeah, it was the CVS on where Combi and 92 cross at.
It's. I mean, I know we're going to be fine with toilet paper. I've got enough old shirts.
Here's the thing: you can always hop in the shower and wash your ass.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's not. Yeah.
I'd rather run out of toilet paper
than be
both husband and wife with 4 kids in the service industry. Right. I'd rather run out of toilet paper than be general manager of a restaurant and you be a bartender.
Right.
So that's one thing.
My issue, I'm worried about food. I feel like if we had to really pay attention to it and be on ration, like not just cooking when it like all willy nilly. Like I feel like I probably got 3 weeks to a month's worth of food in there. But that's like digging the meat out the back of the freezer with the frostbite particles on it and shit. You know what I mean?
Let's touch on that. Switch gears and touch on that because we have a good amount of people that are listening each week, and I know those people that are listening, there's some real fears going on, and that's a big one. That people are worried about running out of food. And this is what I've told some people that have said that to me. Like, look, just chill. You're good. Like, don't freak out. Get what you can get. Continue to get. Like, if you got to go to the store every day, if you got to go to multiple stores every day, just get what you can get, right?
Yeah, but the whole thing is to stay, away from people.
I understand, but you need to do things smart. Send one person from the family to go out. Everybody else stay quarantined the best you can. If you have to work, because I'm one, and I've said it from the beginning, I think eventually we're all going to be sent home.
That shit's happening in the next couple of days.
I mean, that's going to happen. Okay.
Right.
So I think we need to talk about this because of some of the things that scare me. So first of all, before that happens, if you have to go to work, limit what you do as far as exposing yourself around people. Listen, right. I have my own feelings on what could have happened in this situation, but overall, for never having dealt with something like this, I think all the way from the top down to our local, state, and local governments, they're doing okay. Everything's kind of going the way it needs to go for never having dealt with something like this, at least in modern time. But a lot of things could be different. But if you have to go to work, just go to work. Be thankful you have a job to go to, because a lot of people don't. And do what you got to do and be safe as possible, because we're relying on those truck drivers to work. We're relying on the Publix and Sam's workers to be there to give us toilet paper. We're relying on a lot of things. Yep. So to be upset about having to go to work, listen, stay safe.
All these people we're okay paying $8 an hour to.
Yeah. Stay safe if you got to go to work. If you have time and you can request it, see if you could get off if you have the time. But at this point right now, you've got to use your own time. If your job tells you, hey, you got to come to work, you got to go to work until they tell you don't. Now, that's kind of what I have a little problem with, and I want to run this by you guys. I'm not knocking the president, because like I said, they've never dealt with this before.
Right.
But I look at it from just a regular Joe Blow American, and I go, okay, so this Democrat, Andrew Yang, with this social income where you give everybody $1,000 a month, right? That's what he ran on. And everybody is socialism, and we're giving Bernie socialism and giving money. Listen, the government has the power to give everybody $1,000. We're going to put $1,000 in everybody's bank account. As long as you file taxes or whatever, they'll send you a check if you don't have your routing number, but they can do that pretty easily. Okay. The president made a $13 trillion available through some kind of waving of the magic wand, right? So
Nobody understands.
I don't understand where that money just came from. But anyway, they have
we just go into debt more.
And we talk about data, right? What is social media? What has everybody been doing? Collecting data. The government has enough data on the Magnetico family to say, okay, here's their tax returns. This is their mortgage payment. They need this much a month. Boom. They could do every single American like that and say, okay, everybody go home. Government agencies, your people are paid. Don't worry about it. Service industries, your people are going to be fine. We're going to take care of them. We're going to give no interest loans to you businesses for having to shut down, and you pay us back over time through your taxes, blah, blah. They have the means and the people to do that.
Right.
So that's my only, even if they haven't done that yet, that's my only knock on the president is if you have the means to just send out $1,000 to everybody, then just tell everybody, chill. Don't worry about your bills. We're going to hit pause. We're hitting pause. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to take a month off. The government behind the scenes is going to do what they need to do to keep the economy and everything flowing where people aren't freaking out. Hit pause, contain, boom, knock it out, and then put the money towards the research to defend our country moving forward. Because I'm here to tell everybody, and I've said this a couple times, things are never going to be the way they were prior to this.
No.
It's not. We have changed.
This is September 11th category level type shit.
Whether you believe that somebody ate a bat and started this, whether you believe that the Americans started this with their military, whether you believe China did this bio thing through chemical with...
It's from China.
Yeah, China did it.
It's from China.
No matter what you believe, understand that after, like you said, after September 11th, we changed. We
just were never the same.
We knew what was capable from terrorists.
Right.
We know now what is capable of terrorists, and it's time to stop acting like these people that run other countries. And I'll put even our country, because this is a lot of bad things our country's done over the years.
Right.
We gotta stop acting like the people that run these countries are different or hold some kind of moral ground.
Right. I was about to say, we gotta quit acting like they give a shit about us.
Man, whoever I don't know the Chinese president or whatever you call him's name. I don't know him, but I do know enough about the Chinese history to know that they don't really give a damn about us.
Right.
They don't, when a country doesn't care about their own, it's hard to believe.
The damn sure ain't about to give a shit about anybody in any other country.
So
people.
North Korea, they just shot that dude. You got the corona, boom, you're dead. So we got to stop acting like all these other countries around the world are our friends, and that some of these people don't have malicious intent, and we got to protect ourselves.
Right.
That's where.
So that's one of the things as a military brat, and it comes up every once in a while. A lot of people who don't travel, like outside of the country, a lot of people are conditioned. They just believe everybody loves America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you go outside of these borders,
a lot of people don't.
It's not like, I mean, the majority of them don't. For two reasons, right? One, I mean, we do our fair share of meddling in other countries' businesses, and then two, when we do go, unfortunately, a lot of American tourists are they act like entitled fucking assholes when we're in. It's so funny to me how much goes on here about why when I dial that customer service number, I got to pick one for English. This America, goddammit. You know what I mean? It did. But when we go somewhere else.
Why is it always a white voice you do? That's what I want
I don't know. I don't know why that happened. I don't know. But then, like, we assholes in other countries and shit, so I don't. It's something else. But yeah, we are not this everybody loves us thing in other places. So
if anybody's listening and you're wondering, like, okay, he said things are never going to be the same. What are some things that I think are going to be different? I honestly think, and it may not be in the summertime, but during the flu season, you're going to see moving forward this social distancing.
That shit gonna be on a regular.
Restaurants at 50% capacity.
Like I stopped at Burger King on the way home. They had the gloves on. When I went to CVS and picked up that package, she was like, "You have your ID?" I went to hand it to her. She's like, "Oh no, I can't touch it. I just hold it up for me." You know what I mean? That should be a regular shit.
You're gonna see.
It's gonna be in employee handbooks going forward and shit. You know what I mean?
You're gonna see more protective measures for the customer service industry. Like you're gonna see things that are gonna be the norm. I honestly think we're gonna get to a point where there's no more handshaking. I honestly think that.
Yeah, Howie Mandel was on to something there for a while.
Howie's the smartest person in the world right now.
Love that guy.
Right.
Where is he anyway?
Look, Howie Mandel and all the couponers are coming out like champs right now.
So you asked where Howie is. He's actually quarantined. Yeah.
He wore a damn hazmat suit the last time he went to the studio.
So they were filming, what's the show they do? America's Got Talent.
Oh my
Right.
gosh! Did he come out in a hazmat
No,
suit?
no, no. So if I'm at a, I'm not TMZ, so if I got something wrong here, I apologize. But they were filming Heidi Klum, somebody that Heidi Klum knows and was in contact with, came down with the corona. So he was exposed to Heidi. So he's quarantined himself.
Oh, I bet he couldn't
Yeah.
stand that shit.
Yeah, so he's at his house and his family's at the house, but he's in his own quarantined area for 14 days. So, and that may be, but that's kind of what we've done today, right? So we were going to have people over. Aubrey was planning on just having a few people over.
And she is salty right now.
Yeah, we were planning on having some friends over yesterday. We had to cancel all that. Cole got a fever. And it's like, okay, I don't think he's got the Rona. It's probably some allergy stuff. I'm dealing with a headache, some right ear stuff, allergy stuff. But you can't,
And
like,
he had a very low grade
very
fever.
low fever, but like we got to
I think the
cancel
highest
everything.
it got was 99. Oh no, it was 100.4.
You can't have somebody
But
exposed.
I
mean?
didn't give him ibuprofen, but one time when it first started, because that's when it was 100.4. I said, if it stays the 99, you don't take any medicine because that's your body fighting it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if it gets anything over 100, I'm giving you ibuprofen.
But
we don't need to get it higher.
That's my point.
But one time,
If
we exposed people,
but not even expose people to the corona, right?
just to anything.
If you come down with a fever right now, think about the people out there, right? Think about how many people in the world right now are battling something and have a fever.
Right.
And they're freaking out. Their family's freaking out. Everybody around them, loved ones, are freaking out because they don't know.
And that's why.
And that's what I mean. The world's never going to be the same.
Well, that's
every
why.
time you get a fever now, damn, do I have the Rona?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have a cure. They're working on medicines right now to help fight it, and it's a malaria medicine that's been around that they're going to start using because they know the effects of it long term. But they don't know. So this thing is going to, we've said it before, it's going to be worse, the second wave of this.
And they say don't just come to urgent care, the hospital, the emergency rooms. Don't bog it down. If you're okay, once you start having the breathing issues, obviously come in. But if you just have like the cold and the fever, and if it obviously goes above 103, 104, maybe start looking at coming in.
Okay, so when I say things are going to change forever, right? So Cole got sick, Sam. I think I'm a good father, but I ain't the best father. So my kids get sick all the time. You know that I've checked on him 4 or 5 times while he was sleeping, just because I'm like, no, I know what they're saying about this disease. Like the lung, it goes quick and it can get into you and have trouble breathing. Well, he's in there sleeping. He don't sleep normally. But so that's what I mean. Like, you're never going to take anything for granted anymore when it comes to sickness and health because, it's just the normal thing. Well, no, because the normal thing could turn into something really bad quick. And you can't just be complacent about it. Everything's fine. You got to take it serious like we did. And luckily, doesn't seem like there's anything wrong. He's standing behind me. But, it's scary, man. There's a lot of people that are scared.
Hey, where is he at? Where he at?
Uh-oh. Come around here, Cole.
Tell him to come.
Uh-oh. Sin. He's putting
It's going to be a problem in a week, buddy. I'm going to tell you that.
He's putting in some work on you.
It's going to be a problem.
He's practicing.
I've been smashing without eating any practice in a few years. It's going to be a problem after a week, but
you gotta go practice.
Yeah, you gotta go practice.
Maybe I'll play a game with you.
Use your Purell.
But yeah, man, I know there's a lot of people worried out there. There's a lot of people scared. Just do what you can. We'll get through this. The economy sucks. Businesses are hurting.
Yeah, that's what I feel bad about. I feel bad about all the economy issues that we're going to have after this. I mean, it's
and to anybody,
people are going to go into foreclosures again.
To anybody listening right awful. Now, I want to. This point that I'm going to say is so meaningful and important to me. If you get a check from the government for $1,000, and you're married, or you just get your check by yourself or whatever it is. But if you get your check for $1,000 and you're good, you ain't worried about your mortgage. You know, you're working, so you've got income, and you don't really have a financial burden at the moment. Take that extra money that the government sent and go support local businesses. They're still open.
For sure.
They're serving, they're serving food to go. They're serving beer to go. They pass that. Like, it's serious when they pass the beer.
Oh, yeah, for to-go orders.
To-go orders with beer. Go support.
I'm posted.
I see that. Go support those businesses with that extra money. That is, the government is sending that money out to help people get food and pay their mortgage if that's what they, or rent or whatever it is. But they're also sending that money out for you to invest. They're investing in our country. Put the money back into our system.
Community, yes.
Put it into your community. There's a ton of local businesses, Main Street businesses, small businesses that, they're hurting and they're really scared, and we got to do what we can do to help.
For sure. It's the best way to get things back to running better.
It says Sunday.
So we had a kid that just came out. I'm not even going to tell y'all what she just said.
What happened?
Aubrey comes out looking at us crazy. She's like, "What are you doing? It's Saturday."
We had the headphones on and we're potting. She's
put them back in. She need to go back to school.
Yeah, she needs to go back to school.
And she even showed me her phone. She was like, "No, look, it even says Saturday." I look at it, and I have my glasses on, and I even had to look closer. I was like, "Nope, it says Sunday."
That is our UCF student, everybody.
Right.
Wait, we got... Oh, man. So,
love you.
I just wanted to get that out. There's a lot of businesses out there that, because, they've already done things. That's why I'm not trying to bash the government and president too much. They've already done a lot of the small business loans, 0 interest. The links are going around on social media. So I'm not here to bash things, because it seems to be that for Americans at the moment, some things are in place to make everything kind of stable. I just don't think they've done a good enough job of coming out and telling everybody that. And kind of easing it.
That goes to what I was talking about with the question that the dude asked, and he snapped on the reporter about, he's asking, what do you say to the people that are panicking and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
And but again, we talked about, this is new roads for us. You know what I mean?
And my only defense on that was he's up there debriefing the country, and then people asking questions. He's already told you what he's going to say. And that's what I meant when I said every president has dealt with that. They try to get him to say things so they could use it in a soundbite. I don't like that part. And I didn't feel like this was as loaded as a lot of questions are. Yeah. Well, but the other part of that, and that's why I said all presidents have endured this, it just gets to the point where it's like, you get out there and you say what you're going to say. He knows as much about the coronavirus as me and you. That's why at the beginning of it, everybody's bashing him. Oh, it's not that big of a deal, And now it's a big deal. Well, you just said it wasn't a big... You know what? A lot of people said that. That's a normal thing. We said it on this show. We making fun of it and whatever, the overreacting. Well, maybe that was a good decision. Okay, maybe things are... we talked about stimulus packages. There's decisions that are being done that are good. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on, like you said earlier, the 9/11 moment come together. And what you said again, taking a moment like this to pick a side, whether you're left or right, Republican, Democrat, it's not the time for this stuff.
It's definitely not.
They should just, as far as I'm concerned, suspend all elections and everything until this is over, because we don't need that.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know what's about to happen, because now you're hearing this may be 2-3 months. So I don't even know when. I think it's April, sometime in April, the next election, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I know that you can always play armchair quarterback. We love to do that with sports. So
Yeah.
now's not the time for that.
Hindsight's always 2020.
Yeah, because
And this is a What about the conspiracies though, man? Like that's where a lot of it comes from. Like oh, this was a whatever party conspiracy, or man, I'm hearing some things, boy. Like they talking about oh, well they're gonna come up with the vaccine and everybody's gonna take it, and then they're gonna put the mark of the beast in the vaccine so that everybody takes it. And
well,
it's been
here's the crazy part about the conspiracy theories that scares me. So I put on our open discussion page. It has some good feedback, but I said if we ain't talking now, like there's no sense to even have this page. So we got some good discussion going on there, but it's kind of it's whether you believe in conspiracy theories or not, all the way from the craziest one to the most one that you kind of look at it makes a little bit of sense. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Like that's what this show, the Carolina Dawn Show, is about, right? It's about finding that middle road, that middle ground, that gray area, and that's where the truth is. So none of us know what the truth is right now, but we do know that there's some bad things going on.
Yeah.
And what I'm scared of, Sin, and Jen said this when we were watching that show earlier. What my biggest fear is that I put on that page is not the virus itself. It's okay, we're quarantined. This is our suggestion, because the government, he can't come in and just make everybody from a national level quarantined. So it's got to be state and local type stuff, right? So
you said who can't do that?
The president. He can't.
Why can't he?
I had the UCF student look it up. He can't, under whatever act, make it mandatory to make all Americans quarantine. Now, state, local, county, and stuff like that, they can try enforcing it. Okay, which New York has done. California.
Well, he would have to declare. He'd have to declare martial law.
Well, that part and that part is what scares people. So you that's what I'm getting at. You start to do it from the local, state level. If you're listening, please, if that comes down where they say your job says stay home, only can go out to get essentials, medicine, food, that type of stuff. If that happens, just do it.
Right. Because the other option is martial law.
The only other way to get that done is martial law, and then it just blows up.
That's not what you want.
That's when everybody believes all the CEOs from all the corporations have stepped down, and there's all these. He's gonna lock everybody up, and the only way to do it is to close the borders, and he's gonna make all these arrests.
It's gonna be crazy.
The only way
right now we're going through right now we're crying, and the government is our parents telling us right now, keep crying, and I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Right.
Us out here at the beaches, not listening to the states when they tell us to stay inside, that's going to push them to give us something to cry about, and that's going to be martial law, and then people going to lose their goddamn minds.
Yep, that's what scares me. And shout out to our top fan, Joey Isaac. He posted a picture of...
Oh, man, Joe be in it. He believe it.
No, but this is like, we joked about it talking on social media. He posted a picture. It was basically a Walmart, and over the Walmart it said FEMA Distribution Center, and it had barbed wire on the top of Walmart so nobody could break in, and there was a guard tower looking down, and there was military people with guns in the line, and they were rationing out food. And I made the joke. I was like, "This ain't true. This picture ain't true. They're they're way too close together. They have to be 6 feet
Right.
apart, right? Because
Yeah.
they're all.
You saw it here. You saw the Walgreens, right?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Walgreens.
But they had on the floor taped where people got to stand 6 feet apart. So the
See,
line, everybody in line was standing 6 feet apart.
nah, see, but that's what's gonna happen. Like
Right.
but
That's where you talk about what's going to change. That shit
yeah.
might be when they open a whole new CVS or some shit. They might have those markers on the floor for the event that something like this happens.
Yep.
And I'm not mad at that,
No,
to be
that-
honest with
I'm
you.
not mad at it either.
I mean,
Nah.
because already today, before any of this happened, I was like, "Oh, get off of me! Like, get back up a little bit in line, like checking out at the stores."
But you know what?
First of all, hold on. Virus or no virus, I hate that shit anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
People
before
be
any of
well,
this.
breathing on my goddamn neck when I'm trying to buy some groceries or
Right.
whatever. Like, back the fuck up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
do
goddamn.
you know what I do? I put the cart behind me, so like there's that distance. Like
No.
you stay where I tell you to stay.
I'll be
Get
like,
the
you
fuck
gonna put these
back.
groceries up here on the thing for me? You wanna go ahead and put these up on the belt for me? You close enough that you gonna pay?
Right?
Especially when you in the little thing trying to put your PIN number in and stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
do this? You want to do this for me?
I still leave
Like,
the cart
damn.
back there if I can. If they need to load the cart, that's the only time that there's that
So
space.
That's crazy.
I bring up the picture because it was obvious a picture that was it was a powerful picture looking at it.
Right. It was like an illustration.
Right. But when you looked at it, look, that's very possible. You got
So-
the president of the United States already working with private corporations on making
Right.
ventilators and different things. Like he's already
Right.
got it worked out with Walmart's and CVS for testing. If
Right.
it came down to it,
There's not a bunch of steps that would need to be done.
no, and the only
To
way,
get there.
this is very important, everybody listening. The only way, because I'm the one that keeps going, and we'll be fine. We'll have enough food.
Right.
You're not. I'm worried about those homeless people that don't have food now. Like,
Right.
That's who I'm more worried about. Because us
So
Americans,
now less people are going to donate food.
right? Like I'm worried about those people that were struggling before this happened to feed themselves.
Right.
You know, those people I'm worried about. But in order to feed those people, in order to feed us, if we run out of 3-4 weeks worth of food that we're prepared for, that picture is the only way that's going to happen.
It becomes real. Yeah.
That's the only way it's going to happen. You can't just get to that point and think that Americans are just going to all come together and we're going to be honky dory at the Publix, and it's not going to happen.
Kumbaya. and
You
shit.
have people doing it now. You got people hoarding stuff,
Beating up old people over a pack of toilet paper.
cussing out people that are coughing. Like that's the only way that's going to happen, and that's what scares me. Because if that were to happen, then the crazy, I say crazy people, and I mean that in a good way, but the ones that really think crazy on that, because it's one thing to think it like it's a possibility.
Right. So that's where I'm at. I don't necessarily subscribe to all of these conspiracy theories, but I also don't put it past people and government and big agencies and stuff like that.
Yeah. The only
But
thing,
like you were saying, we only don't get there if everybody listens at this level, though.
yeah. This is where this is okay. I do not put anything past political people on what they'll
Right.
do.
Same, regardless of party affiliation.
But I will draw the line in this country when it comes to harming people in this country.
Our government has done that in the past, though.
Okay, give me an example.
So, like testing things out on our soldiers and stuff like that.
Testing
You know what I
what?
mean? Testing out things like injecting our soldiers with stuff,
Okay.
testing things out. You know what I mean? Like it's not something.
Oh, okay. I see. I can get that. But we would not release a toxic gas on our own people. we would not release a
Is that
flu.
a burp?
Yeah, excuse me.
I don't.
We would not release a flu epidemic on our own people.
They ain't producers. Nobody would have known that. If
Sorry, I just heard this all of a sudden. Like, was the
you'll
fan?
make sure that Rona ain't creeping up in you.
Is the fan on?
Like you gonna be sleeping on the couch with Rona.
I just don't think that our country.
You don't put it past.
No,
I don't think they would do it and do it. I believe it could happen, but it would be under the guise of something else. Like, oh no, that was just a vaccine. We had to release it into the atmosphere.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible, but it's a lot higher thing that another country would do.
So you taking the mentality just like some of these people in these other countries where they get it, where that happens to them.
No, because okay, listen. We just talked about the NBA in China. So you had the people of China. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. People in China are protesting their government, right?
People in Beijing, yeah.
China, they were protesting their government. How many? There's billions of people there. They ain't happy. The people that are in charge, that they're communists. We've all know what they've done over time. They don't care about their people. They care about one thing.
Right.
Okay.
But over there, they over there though, the media, like the government, like is telling them, like they don't spin it that way though. You know what I mean?
Let's go with what President Trump has said pretty aggressively so far, and we're just going to talk facts. He's blaming it on China, that it came from China, and he's blaming them for not getting the information out sooner to the rest of the world. That's facts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a conspiracy of that is that they let this virus out. But let's just go that it came from that wet market. It was a bat, a human ate a bat that had this. It got transmitted. That's the way it went.
But that's what I'm saying.
Hold on. Let me get my point out.
Go ahead.
They did not tell us in time for us to do what we need to do or the rest of the world needed to do. And there's a reason behind that. Who manufactures everything that we need? The world needs.
So
they're making millions and millions of dollars off of this. Why tell the rest of the world of the pandemic in your country when you know it's going to spread? And when it spreads, guess everybody needs? They need all the goods from China. The plasma, guess who owns the plasma companies here that everybody wants to run to and give plasma? Guess who owns those companies? The Chinese. And if you're a Chinese business, guess who owns you? The Chinese government. So we need to stop, as Americans, in my opinion, being so reliant on things from other places and produce these things here at home. And President Trump has brought it up, and that's fine. People don't like him, but moving forward, he's brought up some really good things that we need to be producing. GM, if you can produce ventilators at your Ford Ford, if you can produce them, then you should be producing 20% ventilators to have on stockpile in case of an emergency.
So here's the thing, though. Before we go further off on it. So there's two guys in China right now producing the Wuhan royalty show that are saying the same thing about us right now.
That's fine.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so when we're like, oh, I don't think the government would do this or that, like that, the way they spin everything, there's people there that they're being told that, you know, this was the United States plan. This was this and that. This is why, you know, all of the same, like their version of the same story.
Right. I agree.
So but
that's why.
So which one of us is right?
No, because the Carolina Dawn show has been clear and in the gray area. I ain't said one way or the other what's happened.
That's true.
I'm saying,
that's true.
Right? I'm keeping it very in the middle, and I'm saying, looking at it from an American, I got to ride American. I'm Team America.
Right. No,
right?
I get that, but that's what I'm
So,
saying though.
but
Like,
I'm not going so hard for Team America that the Wuhan show in China that they are wrong on what they believe. I ain't
right,
saying that. What I'm saying is somewhere in the middle is the truth, but we can look at it. Wuhan, China isn't relying on the Carolina Dawn show for nothing. But we, as Americans, Carolina Dawn show, we rely on them for a lot.
yeah,
And that's all I'm saying. So when you see our government trying to work deals with, so let's not act like President Trump didn't. I mean, this could all be his fault. Nobody's saying it, but
right,
I mean the conflict that we've had with China on the trade and everything since he's been our president, and then China just turns around and all of a sudden this happens. Like it wasn't a flex on our country. Like, hey, look what we could do. I'm not saying that's right. Like we're in the middle. We're in the gray area. We have to know that an option is that Trump and the Republican Party did this and they're causing fear and he's the only president that has the balls to stand up to China. We got to keep him in office. I ain't saying that's not true either.
right.
I don't know what the truth is. But what I do know is that we got hospital workers working, putting their life at risk. We got grocery store workers working, putting their life at risk. We got an economy that's falling apart.
Yeah.
All because somebody ate a bat?
It was more like an armadillo anteater type animal.
Is this a joke?
I'm just saying. No, I'm being no, I'm being dead ass.
See,
I'm gonna show you.
that's the thing. Like I've seen the wet thing, and like everybody said it was a bat. Now it's an armadillo. I don't know what it is. I know nobody better sneeze by me no more, and that's real. See what I mean? Like it's changed, and for whatever the real cause of it is, I don't know. But let me ask both of you this question. Oh, I see the picture of it. Why is somebody eating that anyway?
That's what that meat market thing was. And
Because
then,
they eat. Again, I love the Chinese, but they eat some weird shit over there compared to what we used to.
Yeah.
What we know, you know what I mean?
So let me ask you both this question because the other people out there are wondering this answer to this question, and I'm asking you two because I don't know if I want to give my answer.
don't be scared.
If there was enough evidence came out that China attacked our country with
Like
this,
intentionally, right?
If
We ain't going to war.
No. If that were to happen, what's your feeling on it? Like if you knew that without a doubt, because the one thing that I've learned as a 42-year-old male after going through the whole 9/11 thing is I'm not going to just ride the way I rode for one side then. I've matured.
Bombs.
I've grown as a man.
I'm just kidding.
And I understand things a lot better now. Because Bush, he did everything wrong back then. In my eyes, can't change it. So right now, I'm better at looking at that gray area. I was always good at the gray area in certain things, but some things would just push me over the edge. But I was programmed from a young age, and this is something we'll talk about on future shows, to be more Democrat liberal. Right now, I'm better at that gray area. So I'll defend some Republican things, I'll defend some Democratic things because I'm in that area. But if you found out that it was 100%, the person admitted it, yes, I did this. What do you think would be the response from America?
I mean, that's an act of war if they did that, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're like, we did this intentionally to try and kill as many Americans as possible. Like the Chinese leader of his, I don't know what he's called, you know what I mean? But like, is it just the president of China? I don't know, right?
Sounds good.
Whatever he's called, I don't, because countries have prime ministers, whatever it is, right? So if he came out and said that it's boy, you better put them hands up because
And that's
time to go.
That's why I said drop bombs.
and that
But I
But
was-
then that destroys the whole world at that
Yeah.
point. Though.
and that is what I'm trying to, I think we're gonna have a lot of people listen to this episode just because, I talked about our bonus episodes, and I don't know if you guys seen it, but I did post to the page that it just didn't feel right putting out those 2 bonus episodes this week before they heard this episode. So we can we can release those other 2, get them ready today, and release them throughout the week, and then record some more stuff this week. But I wanted everybody to hear the next time they heard us, because the last episode was all on this, and I didn't want to put out something that didn't touch anything that was going on in the country at the moment, because we do have that responsibility with a platform, is to give people what's going on. And I didn't want anybody to listen to it and go, they didn't even touch on nothing, like they thought it was.
Yeah, and you didn't want it to be incomplete.
Correct. So we'll put those episodes out. If you've listened to this, then you know that they'll come out. But it was important to come on here today. And
I wanted to come on and piss some people off.
You could piss people off. I think we've listen. I think we've pissed some people off today.
You know all I wanted to talk about today?
What's that?
Because it's from China. That was my favorite shit that happened this week.
What's that?
Is when they was like, why do you keep calling it the Chinese virus? And he's like,
because it's from
China. Like, it is the first time he's ever just given a straight, no bullshit ass answer.
Listen,
and it made sense. You know what I mean?
Is that Trump?
And people were,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, and people are so mad about this shit. Like, it's racist. Like, we called the German measles or mumps the German measles. We call everything. A lot of things have been named after where they come from. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, people. Now, I don't agree with if he got people running around there calling it the Kung flu, like they was talking about this shit. That's what Jen had heard that shit.
What the
that
hell?
Shit, while it is comical as fuck, it's racist as shit.
Listen,
but the Chinese flu, that's accurate.
Yeah,
that's where it originated.
White people are scared to say anything positive about Trump. I'm not one of those people, because if you know me, then you know how I am. And if you don't know me and you just know me from this show, then you'll have to figure it out. But I've said it on this show where he was a hip hop president more than Obama. Obama was the R&B president. And you know good and well, I'm saying this as a white male saying to my black friend, you know good and well, a lot of black people listen to Trump and go, oh, that was hard. They do. What he just said about being racist, he does not care if he offends somebody on how you perceive what he said.
My thing is
the Chinese thing, and he rode with it. And it's racist.
He did.
Whatever.
He did.
I don't give a damn.
I don't want anybody else talking about they going to get some Chinese food on their way to pick up some Kung Pao chicken and shit. Like I already heard. If you saying that we can't call it the Chinese virus, then you can't call it Chinese food.
Exactly. That's the thing that I respect about him. I do not agree with his 100% of his policies.
Oh, there's a lot of shit he do I don't agree with.
There's a lot.
But
there's a lot with every president.
Some shit, everyone, it's not in fairness.
People looking to fucking start drama.
He gives people ammunition 90% of the time. Like, he's just reckless with what he says. Mm-hmm. And some of that is what people love about him, because they're like, he don't give a fuck, right? He does. He gives people ammunition 90% of the time. 10% of the time, just like Jen said, people are just looking for something just to have something to say. And I feel like that was one of them. Yeah. Like, people are like to me, tell me why I'm wrong. I don't give a fuck. Like, people trying to find something wrong with that and turning that into a racist thing based off of everything else you hate about him. To me, that was a stretch. That's just a super stretch. Because for everybody that would have said that shit about him saying it. If you heard somebody else be like, "Have you heard anything more about the that Chinese virus that's been going around?" Like somebody said that at your office, you probably wouldn't have batted an eye at this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But to try and make it, and I get it. People are like, "Oh, well, now where people are committing hate crimes against Chinese Americans." Well, fuck them too. Like they need to be locked up. That they did not commit that crime because Trump called it the Chinese virus. They was just looking for a reason to be assholes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So him saying that did not increase the chance. They were going to do that anyway. They just looking for a reason. You know what I mean?
And the only thing, like Trump, his enemy is the media. So he doesn't give a damn about what he says or how people, but his enemy is the media. He just rides so hard for that. Like
that's his own fault though. But yeah, he coined that shit.
But listen, the other thing that I've noticed after I posted that little clip, and I posted a little clip because I posted the part that I thought was funny, and that's what I put in our comment. I said I did what we said we shouldn't do. If you had the whole context of it, maybe you'd look at it differently. But the thing that it just amazes me when I've been watching more of it, the way he just shushes people. Mm-hmm. Like he's
he'll cut a motherfucker off.
I said, shh,
right,
enough.
And he'll be like, and this is the reason. Da 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 da. Sandy, what's your question? He's going right to it, motherfucker.
There is 0% up until now that I could say that President Trump has been presidential acting. Right?
You said 0? No, I've seen flashes of it.
Well, I mean, I could like nitpick something, but like for the most part, he doesn't handle himself like the president of the United States does not tweet out, "I'm sending out $1,000 check and we're gonna look in everybody's social media history before it goes out." And then he did hashtag.
Did he actually send that?
Did.
Was that actually his?
It went out. They got screenshots of it, and then somebody in his
and then they took it down.
So he said, "If anybody has this, not my president."
For everybody that said it was not my president,
listen, that is the most hip hop gangster shit, right?
I'm not even mad at that shit. I'm not even mad at that.
All my black friends, you know damn well if you saw that, if it's real or whatever,
right?
That's funny as hell.
Because if Obama had did that shit, they would have been riding for it.
Yeah, if Obama did that, that's my president. Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like I love that about him. That it's just it seems so real, and I think that's why he won. Because
that's definitely why
people feel like he's not a politician.
Right, that's a big reason.
I'd rather you tell me if me and you are friends and be like, "Hey, I just want you to know I don't really like white people, but you a cool guy. So I'm going to be around your family, but I got a lot of strong feeling about white people." And I'll be like, "All right, I get you."
This is what honest. I told people. I told people he won because they would much rather have an honest asshole than the conniving bitch that was on the other ops. And I'm not calling it that. I'm saying that's the way people viewed it. You know what I mean? Now, yes, and when I say honest asshole, I don't mean that he's accurate because they pick apart. He lies, whether it's intentional or unintentional. When he has speeches a lot, they pick apart the things that are factual and not. But when I say honest, I mean like he means it when he says it. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to do the things he said. Like, whether you like him or not, he's the only president we've ever had. And this is including Obama. And I love Obama. I think Obama was the coolest president we've ever had. But Trump is the only president, whether you agree with his platform or not, that tries to do everything he actually trying to do everything he said he was going to do on the campaign trail. Mm-hmm. Every other president we've ever had has made all these promises, and they might keep 1 or 2 out of 12. Mm-hmm. Trump has legitimately tried to keep every single one of the promises. He said he was going to build a wall. That's what he tried to do. He said he would go keep Muslims out the country. That's what he tried to do. And again,
Drain the
people
swamp.
listening, right? People listen. Well, nah, he fucked that up. That's one that he fucked up because he done fired 32 something people. That,
I
but
mean,
here's the thing. Like, and again, people, I'm not saying I agree with him about these things, but we had plenty of presidents say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this," and then get in office, and we never hear anything else about the shit.
so you're gonna hear it here on the Carolina Dawn Show first. This is my prediction for the future. I already said that things changed, and that's
Y'all,
gonna
he's
be,
smiling about this shit
yeah.
right now.
But
He happy
I'm
about this.
telling
What he
you,
was.
I'm telling you right now, 2020 on the Carolina Dawn Show, I said it. 30 years from now, President Trump is going to go down as one of the most influential presidents ever, because whoever is president after President Trump and moving forward those 30 years
Has to deal with everything he did.
No, well, that every president has to deal with that, right?
Yeah, but
hold
like
on.
go back to what I'm saying though. He's trying to do more than any of the rest of them.
Right, but moving forward, we're gonna have a president one day that is somebody. I'm throwing a name out there. Okay, we're gonna have a president one day like Dwayne Johnson, where it's somebody who takes it a little differently, has good leadership, strong man, could be a woman, but I'm just using him as an example, where he would have never.
Yeah, Trump paved the way for
Paved the way like a true hip hop president would.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
He paved the way for somebody else to come in, and without the non-politician that could be a good leader and run our country and
I do
change
not,
the game forever.
I do not disagree
he's going to be remembered
with
for his policies and everything he did and how he fought the corona. None
so
of
here
that.
I say, listen, I don't disagree with you that he might go down as one of the most influential ones, but that does not speak to whether that's good or bad though. I could agree that you're right. He opened the door, like he's the first non-politician we've had since we created this system. Like, you know what I mean? Because this was not designed to be a two-party system. We had people who were not politicians early on in our country's history that were president and stuff. You know what I mean? But since it evolved into this machine that it is now, definitely he's the first non-poly. He's basically, even though he ran as a Republican, this is like the first third party to ever win.
Yeah.
And he's opened the door for that. You're absolutely right. I mean, because the next one, whoever it is, whether it's Oprah, The Rock, whether it's somebody like Paul Walker, rest in peace, or whatever, no matter who it is, like, you're right. This was laid. People will be more accepting of it because we got him. But there's a lot of people that are mad about this. So on the flip side, time will tell, because there's a lot of people that are like, why did we put a reality star in office?
And that's
it backfired.
That's the thing that I was going to get at. So this next presidency, it's either going to be Trump or looks like Joe Biden. So it went back to, shaking your head. You should see Sin's face. So it went back.
Why do we keep presenting bad choices?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. That's my whole point of this. It went back to, like, we can't have a reality TV. Let's get Uncle Joe in there, right? And then Uncle Joe's going to get Obama's votes, and we got a shot at beating Trump, and we'll see what happens.
Right.
But after Trump or Biden,
right, that'll be the telltale.
That'll be the telltale. And the reason why I brought up The Rock is because I agree with you. People are looking at it and going, well, why do we hire this reality star? But there's a lot of reason why. We wanted a non-politician person.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Okay. I just wish it wasn't him.
Right.
I wish it had been somebody else.
But
you know what I mean?
The Rock has come out and said, when he was asked about running for president one day, He said, his quote, not quote, but this is what he said. He said, I would entertain the opportunity, but I would have to go back to school and get more into politics before I ever seriously ran.
Right.
So you're going to see at some point,
The Rock run for Congress.
you're going to see The Rock, a Tim Tebow. You're going to see somebody emerge that is not a traditional politician,
Right.
but somebody we as Americans believe in and support, and then they're going to get a little more understand. Listen, for somebody that's a reality TV person, like he's got his hands in a lot of stuff. So it's a lot. The president of the United States is a like a crazy job to me. Nobody can run one person can't run the country.
They don't.
So
That's why he hires a cabinet.
So it's really just a leadership role, right?
Right.
And you're going to see
The
that.
figurehead.
Yeah, you're going to see a better figurehead for our country 30 years from now. And it's all going to be because we hired a freaking apprentice star.
Oh, man.
As a country.
I hope you're right.
That's
I
what
hope you're right.
believe.
I only ever want what's best for our country. Like at the moment he won the election, I'm like, okay, now it's time to quit trying to destroy the man and let's see if we can help move the country forward. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You know what I mean? I want that regardless of what affiliation is in office.
Yep.
So
Corona, COVID-19.
man.
That's the episode.
Well, a lockdown coming this week from Florida.
Listen, I'm on vacation. This worked pretty good because I could see you. I didn't like the phone thing, but
yeah, it didn't feel as personal. This feels more personal.
This feels more personal while I'm looking at you and what we're doing.
We still can feed off each other's energy and shit.
So there's no reason, really. I mean, we have those bonus episodes, but what do y'all think about this? Those bonus episodes are good episodes, but
midweek, like what we kind of discussed.
Well, I think maybe we just for this next week, we just hold off on those.
We chill out.
We put this one up today,
and see where we progress to.
And I'm gonna take a page out of Andrew Schultz's book for a second. I mean, he's doing a whole other show, but let's come at and let's do one. Let's try to do one every day this next week.
Oh.
Now, Sam, you said you're off Tuesday through Thursday.
I don't go if we're not going to be working from home by the end of this week. I don't go back until Thursday night.
Okay, and I don't go back till next Monday. So,
right.
Whether it be like this, or everybody's.
I want to hear how it sounds now that we got a little better
setup.
Mic, yeah, because then I have another mic. I mean, we can get into that later, but yeah, I want to see how it sounds. So
okay, and then like this week, as long as the fever's gone and we've quarantined for the 48 hours without a fever, like we're
gonna shoot one from the pool.
We can. I mean, yeah, we'll. Come on over and hang out, put some meat on the grill, and we can record here. But I think that if everybody's taking this serious and they're quarantining, then if we just give them a 30-minute episode, just kind of debriefing of what's happened and that, because so much is happening hour by hour. So maybe that's something that we do when we see how that works.
Yeah, we are the narrative of the Chinese virus 2020.
Exactly. Maybe the only ones that are speaking the truth at the moment. So we have that obligation too, is to try to come and, because everybody's watching the news and their social media feed just like we are, and they're all like wondering what's going on. So at least if we come to them every day and kind of break down,
with the voice of the people,
then that'll help. I do want to say this before we wrap this show up. We are working on another project. We're working on another show that we're breaking down the show Blackish. Okay.
Yeah.
So
we watched another one.
Yeah. So
yesterday.
Did you hear White Jen say whoop whoop?
Yeah. So we're doing this show for those of you that listen every single week an episode, and we appreciate you. I know exactly how many of them there are. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I just told Sin and Jen before we started how many that was. We appreciate you. For that show, we are doing the show Blackish because black friend, white wife who's super white. And there's a lot of things on that show that are good conversation pieces. And good. But
oh man, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, we've already got 3 episodes recorded, and we got to do a couple more. But I was thinking about it, and the way it needs to be released
all at once.
It needs to be released as season 1. So we've got 2 episodes done. We can record 4 or 5 more for season 1. But then when we release season 1 to the public, it'll be boom, season 1, episodes 1 through boom, 5 episodes. And that way, because the way I'm thinking of it, if the show's older, so it's not like a current show that we're waiting on a new episode to come out. If somebody hears it, and they hear us break down episodes 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 2 in the first one,
they go keep watching.
They're not going to want to wait a week to hear our response on 3 and 4 because they watch it so quick.
True.
So if we release season 1, boom, there it is, and somebody hasn't watched the show, or they did and they want to go back and rewatch it to hear what we got to say about it, I think that's a better experience for the listener, and that I think is what we should do. So we're going to continue to work on that along with other projects. Down. But hey, we're just having fun. It's Carolina Dawn Show. We'll be back at some point this week, but hopefully tomorrow. And we'll see how it goes. But everybody stay safe. Wash your hands. Stay inside unless you got to go somewhere. If you got some toilet paper, hit me up.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your hands. We're going to work on colors and
shit. What is that?
What is that?
What is that? My penis is clean.
On that note,
you gotta listen to all the episodes to get all the references.
You gotta understand that.
That's how we do. Carolina Dawn Show. Peace.
Yeah.